Hi guys, my name is Knife, and with the release of Monster Hunter Wilds in a week, oh my goodness, it's coming out so soon. This is 1 week, I can't wait any longer. I'm going to do a quick video of my top 10 monsters that I freaking love fighting in Monster Hunter. This is expanding across all the Monster Hunters I've played. So I've played from Tri to Rise. I haven't played 1 and 2, but the monsters in 1 and 2, they do come back. But let's stop rambling and let's start with the video. So let's go through the honorable mentions first. So the first honorable mention for my list is Glavenus. I freaking love Glavenus. Like, look at him. Look at him. How can you say no to essentially a T-Rex that shoots fireballs and uses its tail as a great sword? Not only that, it can light its tail up with its mouth and literally cut through anything when its tail is hot red. And not only that, the only way you can cut its tail off is when it's hot red. Like, how anime is that? Can you just imagine clashing with a Glavenus and the only way to cut its tail off is when it's like glowing red and at the most dangerous? Honestly, peak design, peak monster. I wish it was more challenging really to fight. Maybe I'd put it on the actual list. Alright, let's go to the next one. Next one is Malfestio. Now, I don't know if a lot of people have played against Malfestio because it was in Generations and Generation Ultimate. So this is like a spin-off game that was on the Nintendo DS. It's been ported to Switch. Honestly, love it. It's an owl. Now, you guys might be thinking, why the frick does this guy like fighting an owl? Well, it shoots the confusion ray at you and makes your controls go backwards. Like, honestly, like, it's so fun to fight. I freaking love fighting it. And then it has a deviant variation where it can go invisible. So yeah, it's pretty fun to fight. Pretty cool mechanic, fun monster to fight. I don't think people would enjoy it if it was in the newer games because it's so jarring to fight. But in Generations and Ultimate, you had Hunter Arts and Hunter Stars to help you. So it's kind of not as bad to combat it. Alright, next one. My favorite big boy that is everywhere. No, I'm not talking about Basil Goose. I hate Basil Geese. Go away. I'm talking about Devil Joe. Savage Devil Joe and Devil Joe. Peak designs. Savage Devil Joe. Love the armor. That's the armor my hunter wears all the time. Layered armor set in world. I just wear the Savage Devil Joe. I've got to mix it on. Bada bing, bada boom. It's on screen. I freaking love wearing it. I freaking love fighting that thing. He roars loads. He's annoying. His Dragon Flame is crazy, cool, love it, love the monster, peak design. Alright, next one. Zamtrios. Now you guys do not even, most of you guys don't even know who Zamtrios is. Zamtrios is a land shark basically, that inflates itself into a massive balloon. Okay? And its big attack is it slams itself down as a balloon. Peak design. I don't know why they didn't bring it back in the newer games, because honestly, it would have been so good in Rise. They didn't bring it back in Rise. They brought like the Zamites, like the little versions of it, just to like tease us. I wanted to say something else, but we're going to keep this PG. Yeah, they just wanted to tease us. So they better bring that thing back in Wilds. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry, Capcom. I'm going to cry. Alright. And the last one on this list is going to be Furious Rajang. I know you guys are like, yo, Rajang is not on the actual list. I freaking love Rajang. I love Rajang. I fought Rajang in all the games that he's in, that I've played. So in Generations, I think I played, was he in 4? I don't remember if he was in 4. Yeah, he was in 4 when I had the Apex. So I fought Apex Rajang, Furious Rajang, normal Rajang. He is so fun to fight in World as well. I freaking love it when Furious Rajang just grabs you and then he just laser beams you. Like, honestly, it's such a cool fight. I didn't put him on the main list because there's a few other monsters on this list that just outshine Rajang. I'm not gonna lie to you. Rajang's fun to fight. He's a fun monster. And they definitely are going to bring him back in Wilds. There's no way they don't. They've brought back so many apes. And they've put so many apes into Wilds. There's no way Rajang doesn't make it. Like, honestly. Kongala's back. Like, bro. There's no way Rajang isn't going to be there. Right? Alright. Let's start with the actual list now. The first one on this list is going to be my boy from Monster Hunter World, Runa Nergigante. Oh my goodness. Talk about peak design. And peak design, is just spikes. Just add spikes onto spikes. That is what you call super cool. If you ever know anything about Japanese stuff, they want to make something cool, they just give it spikes. And they didn't fail doing that with Nergigante. The first time I saw Nergigante, I was like, yo, I don't like this guy. He does a dive bomb. And then the more I fought against him, I was like, bro, this fight is good. When you first fight Nergigante on Zora Magdaros, it's like, oh damn, it's just giving you a little taster. It's like an appetizer for the actual fight. Then you fight Nergi, and it's like, oh damn, this is good. And then you do Guiding Lance, and then you see it, Runa Nergigante. It's like, bro, then Tempered Runa Nergigante. That event quest is so good. I freaking love doing that. I love bullying him with a hammer. I like how they made them. The mechanic for him, or the gimmick for him, is the Baker Spikes, and he then is knocked over, which is pretty good. You know, it's a good mechanic. It's fair. I think it's fair for finding because he's a big angry boy. So yeah, Nergigante, Runa Nergigante, amazing. We love him. Okay, next on the list is a monster that was featured first in Monster Hunter 2, if I remember correctly, but he comes back in Monster Hunter Rise, and that's Amatsu. Oh my goodness, this thing is crazy. The boss fight, absolute crazy in the special arena that you guys do. The music, so good. The fight, so good. He's got 3 phases. His special move in the 3rd phase where he just like sends you in a tornado, and then there's lightning going around, and you have to like use the Y-Bug gimmick to like hang in the air to not get hit. Peak design, peak fight. Yeah, not much to say. He's an Elder Dragon, crazy Elder Dragon. He looks weird, but I like the fight. It was a fun fight to do, and his armor is I don't really like his armor or his weapons, I won't lie, but I do like it. It's a good fight. Okay, so the next monster on the list is Lucent Nargacuga. You know, you thought Nargacuga was cool? Well, meet his cooler cousin, Lucent Nargacuga. Now, you might be thinking, Knife, why have you put Lucent Nargacuga on this list? It's literally just a silver/white version of Nargacuga. Well, let me tell you something. Guys. Let me tell you something. This guy is crazy. So the lore of Lucent Nargacuga is that his like drapples, his fur, his scales, whatever you want to call it, his skin is like so reflective, so shiny that he can go invisible. And this is like happens the most when there's a full moon. So when you're fighting Lucent Nargacuga, the arena's got a full moon out on the sky. You're fighting this Nargacuga, and when he gets pissed, his eyes go red and he goes invisible, and all you see is those eyes. They are just going around while he's invisible, and it is terrifying, and I freaking love it. I loved every single second of this fight. He does poison damage with his tail. He's a bit of an angry boy, as most of the monsters on this list are, but he's so good. Armor, not that great in Rise. I don't like his armor or his weapons, but there was a meta in Rise, and I'm a meta slave, so I think a lot of people will probably expect this to be on the list, but it's Scorned Maglamalo. Scorned Maglamalo is so good. Honestly, absolutely goated. This monster was crazy. So we got Maglamalo that was introduced in Rise, and Scorned Maglamalo essentially was is essentially a Maglamalo that had been beaten by Hansa, and he's come back for more. He's come back for hands. It's basically Gormagala all over again, but it's not Gormagala, right? So he's just really angry. It's a really angry Maglamalo, and he is crazy. He does dive bombs. He sends out fire, like his Maglamala fireball things that he has. I don't know what the debuff is. I don't even know the name. All right. All I know is that when he hits you and you're like burning with the hellfire, you get that whistle sound, and that whistle sound is so cool. It is so cool. Even when he's just angry, you just hear like a little whistle, like it's like a whistle or train, like a steam train thing. It's like, and it's like, bro, it is crazy. Fight its peak, monster design's peak. He is like the perfect mix of aggression and like he just has that, I don't know, it's his movement, it's just like he's dancing when he's fighting you. It's so good, especially when you're using a longsword. Yeah, I don't normally use longsword, but in Rise I was using a longsword quite a lot. I normally use hammer, but with switch skills, longsword was crazy, and using the switch skills plus longsword versus Magnemar, it was such a good fight. Honestly, really good, good fight. 10 out of 10, peak design. I love the monster, I love the fight. They're never going to bring Magnemar to Wild, but if they did, I would not be disappointed. Honestly, such a good monster. He's going to definitely stay in Rise, though, unfortunately, in Sunbreak. Okay. Another one from Rise. You guys might be thinking, yo, this list is basically top 10 monsters in Rise. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm using Rise gameplay as well. But this guy was introduced in Sunbreak, the DLC for Rise, which made the game indefinitely better because it added all the new switch wheels and stuff. But it's Primordial Malzeno. So Malzeno is the version of this monster we first encounter, which is inflicted by the Curios. I think that's how you say it. Curios is like these little leech things that give everything the red, like that red aura. And you know, while you're fighting the anomaly monsters, they all have the Curio things on it. But Primordial Malzeno is the precursor, the stronger version of Malzeno. And this guy is so sick. He teleports. Like, bro, that's it, you got me. He says, teleports behind you, it's nothing personal, kid. Like, he's so cool. He is so cool. His attacks are cool. Design's amazing. Weapons amazing. I freaking use his longsword. I used most of his armor. So armor's very good. Very, very good. He used basically the meta for endgame farming in Sunbreak, and he was such a good fight. I love his design. He's basically just a vampire dragon, and it's so crazy. I freaking love it. Like, you can't say no to that. Plus his palette change for the Primordial. Kiss, bro. Like, I thought the original Malzeno's color like palette was good, and then I saw Primordial and I was like, Capcom's done it again. Another banger, another absolute banger. Okay, the next monster, lucky for you guys, this is not from Rise, but I'm using Rise footage. This monster is called Valstrax. He was introduced in Generations. So Valstrax is a crazy monster which is essentially a jet plane, okay? He is a jet plane. I don't care what anyone says, he's literally a jet plane. This guy was so cool. The first time I saw him, he did this crazy thing where he left the area. So in the old games, when a monster leaves the area, you would just look at, you wouldn't have a minimap that shows you the monsters leaving, okay? First off, in Monster Hunter Generations, if he left and you would look on the floor to see the shadow of the monster and it would leave the area, right? But Valstrax had this thing where he would leave the area, shoot into the sky and fly down at you as if it was a comet or a meteorite. And obviously the attack was called Comet. It was very fitting, and I freaking loved that. As soon as I saw him do that attack, I was like, I'm in love. I love this guy. He's amazing. His armor's peak. His weapons are peak. He is so good. Rise, the Risen version of the Crimson Valstrax, amazing fight. I freaking love it. It's very difficult. So if you guys are looking for a challenge and you have Rise, definitely give that a go. It's a very, very satisfying fight. I love it. It's really, really good. His ambush move's so good. I hate how they told you he does it in Rise though. But other than that, peak fight, peak monster. Alright, up next is something a lot of you people probably wouldn't have guessed. But I freaking love this guy. Gossarak. Introduced in Rise. I know. Sorry guys. He is crazy. He's basically an Oni. And he's basically a massive ogre Oni looking thing. Crazy. Abominable snowman looking at. Right. Uses ice attacks. But wait, there's more. My guy breathes ice onto his arms to make blades and to make a hammer. whichever he so chooses or pleases. Wait, there's more. He gets better. He can shoot a laser beam of ice. Yeah, and if he pins you, he will walk towards you with both of his blades dragging across the floor. How effing menacing is that? Honestly, amazing. Peak design, peak monster. I wish we get him. Or I wish they would put him in Wilds. They are definitely not bringing him to Wilds. He is a monster that's gonna stay in Rise. Like, he's built for Rise. I can't see him in Wilds. If they brought him to Wilds, I would be creaming my pants. Like, amazing monster. 10 out of 10. A lot of these monsters are 10 out of 10, as you can see. But he's so good. I freaking love him. Love him. So good. Such a good fight. He was an easy monster. He was only master rank 3 stars, I think. I wish he had a variant. He got done dirty by not getting a variant. He would have been so cool with like a variant where he was ice and something else. I don't know what they would do with it. This is a weird one, you know, but he was cool. I freaking loved him. Good monster. Did 2 very different fights. The first one's gonna be Safi Shiva, or Safi Shiva. I don't know how you pronounce it, but this guy, peak fight. So is Xeno Shiva's mature form, Safi Shiva, and he's a big red dragon, very traditional dragon. So he looks like an actual dragon. Literally, that's it. And this is a siege fight, so you guys will send in 4 people in one team, and you have 4 teams of 4, so 16 hunters to do this, and it is so amazing. I mean, he's pretty standard. All he does is fire attacks, melees, you know, the works. But the one thing I freaking love about Safi is his special supernova bomb thing, where he will go into the air and all the music will deafen. The audio will start deafening, and he just sends a little nova bomb, little nuke down that slowly goes down and then detonates the whole arena. And if you're not hiding behind something, you get insta wiped. I love that. Honestly, love it. Amazing. Amazing monster, peak design, peak fight. And then the last of the dragons. Look guys, I'm sorry, we can't have this list without this guy. I know everyone hates him. Everyone hates him. His hitboxes are awful.
Wait, I have this on. Why am I not
World, but Fatalis. We have to add Fatalis into this list. Like, this guy's armor was peak. His weapons were peak. He had a bad hitbox, but it's so satisfying fighting Fatalis. Especially when you get to the Dragonair part. You hit him with that Dragonair and Proof of a Hero starts playing. Oh my goodness. Absolute peak when that happens, bro. And then, to top it off, he has like 3 separate phase, like special phase moves, where he just burns the whole arena. Like, bro. Like, you can't get better than that. It's so cinematic. It's like, it's a really good conclusion to Iceborne. I think it's a very good conclusion fight to Iceborne. Like, it's very fitting. You definitely feel very satisfied when you do defeat him. He's got very good moves. I think, other than his hitbox being awful, it's a good fight. Monster's good. Armor's good, and the weapons very, very good. I freaking love his weapons.
Like
such good weapons.
House, but it didn't reach where the TV was.
And last but not least, a lot of people probably have never fought this thing before. I don't even have footage of myself fighting this thing. Like, it's just crazy because most of the monsters in this list I've fought, or I have got footage of me fighting them. But this thing is from Monster Hunter's Generation Ultimate, and it's called Atal Ka. Now wait, you're gonna be like, Knife, how is this little bug mantis looking thing better than Fatalis? Okay, stay with me guys, stay with me. So this is a nice little 3-phase fight you guys do. Crazy amazing fight. It's first stage, I'm just a bug, and he's got some like piece of metal, well, she's got a piece of metal strapped to her back and she uses that to attack you, right? Pretty standard, nothing crazy. Why is this the final boss fight, right? Okay, you beat them up a little bit, and guess what? Atal Ka decides to throw hands with you by piloting a mech. It flipping pilots a mech to fight you. There's no way you're gonna tell me this is not a peak fight. This is such a peak fight. They don't make boss fights like this anymore. Honestly, this is crazy. The first time I saw this fight, I was like, what the freaking heck is going on? Absolute amazing. And then ways like how to like weaken it, you'd have to go onto it, mine the little like cores that are on there, doing that like several times until the mech broke. And then Atal'Karr is in the last stand where Proof of a Hero plays, the best version of Proof of a Hero by the way, Ultimate Generations Ultimate's Proof of a Hero. Peak, that is the best version of the song, I don't care what anyone says. And then this thing just goes crazy, honestly. It's like a massive wheel on its back. It starts throwing that thing around, fighting you. Absolute peak fight, especially with the Hunter arts and Hunter skills that you get in the Hunter style and the Hunter arts in Generation 4. You makes this fight so fun and so good. And I implore you guys, please do check out Generation Ultimate Fighting because you're missing out if you haven't. Alright? If I mentioned York, and that is my list for my favourite monsters to fight in Monster Hunter throughout the whole franchise that I played. Sorry if I didn't have your favourite monster on the list, and if I didn't, please remember to put it down in the description below. Let me know who that person that's missing from my list is, and if I did, please let me know why you like them as well, because honestly I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate these monsters, man, you know? Like, okay, Fatalis, I guess. Fatalis is glazed all the time. But some of these stuff on here, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know. But I think I've missed a few. I feel like this is a list of popular monsters. It might be a list of popular monsters, maybe. But I did miss a few that I thought were going to be super popular. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I will be making Monster Hunter Wilds content when that comes out. I'll be doing tutorial and hunt videos for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, and click the bell for all of that good stuff. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. So peace.